Oop. Boom. All right. How's everybody doing? We got some guests are going to be rolling in here. And let's skip the thing. We're just scooping around. There we go. There's the music I was looking for. How's everybody doing? Got Jon Ferrian live in the house. Got my buddy Tyson Gunter from Woodie's Racing here with me. And we are excited to do a test with you today. But while we're doing our test, we're going to give you a little bit of an update. So, while we're living large here in Sammamish, Washington. And Tyson, where are you at right now? You're in Idaho, right?
I am. I'm in southeast Idaho, south of Pocatello.
That's awesome, awesome. And so for those of you guys may remember, is Tyson came with me way back in episode number 6, I think it was, wasn't it? Like it was a long time ago.
I don't remember the number, but it was pretty early on.
Nice. And so you're sitting in front of a computer screen or something because it just went dark and now your face got dark on us.
Oh, yeah. My computer went on. There we go. How's that?
That actually helps out quite a bit. Yeah, keep that running as we talk. But as you guys know, we've been doing Jon Ferrian Live now for about, I don't know, a year and a half or more. We're over 90 episodes that we've done so far. And about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Facebook killed us. Like we barely had the opportunity, and Facebook Live ended up shutting off the option to go live on Facebook directly. And so the last several weeks I've been doing some research, been trying to figure out what software will work. And the combination that I'm using right now for everybody is we're using Skype. So Tyson and I are on a Skype call, and hopefully Skype is an easy way for everybody to get access to a conversation like this. And then I'm using a software called Ecamm Live that I've subscribed to now. It's actually a pretty inexpensive subscription, so it's reasonable enough for me to say, like, let's do this. And here we are. We're just doing some testing today. The new software is giving me the option to add logos and stuff. So all over the screen, you guys are seeing cool logos from Woodie's Racing. We've got Highmark from Snow Pulse, Fly Racing, Enumclaw Power Sports, Marlon Sled Decks, and of course the old Live Large right across the top of the screen as well. So I like this format. I think it's going to work well for us. And Tyson, you watched me do a test a little bit earlier today too. What did you think when you saw the test?
Hey, I thought it was good. I was excited to see that you had found another avenue to go live again, because I enjoyed the show, and as us as sponsors, Woody's Racing, doing a giveaway through you guys, we like what you're doing. So when it went away, we're like, no, what are we going to do? But excited to see that you found a way to get back on it.
Exactly. I was freaking out. I know everybody else was too. We were trying to make things happen. And yeah, we had just gotten rolling with the share to win giveaways, right? And so once we get this thing back on track, every other week we'll be giving away something from Woody's Racing, and then every other week we'll be giving away something from Fly Racing. And so we're going to have some great prizes going on pretty much on a weekly basis. Every month for the next year we've got it set up for. So I'm excited about that. And this test is going to help us kind of solidify that we're ready to bring on the main show, the main guests, and everybody back on Sunday nights. But Tyson was available and willing to do some testing. So. All right. So Tyson, you froze up for a second there. Let's give him just a second to see if he pops back. This is part of our test, people. We got to know whether the software is going to work or not. Oh, there you are. Are you back, buddy?
I think so.
Awesome. What happened? Did you get another call or something?
No, that time I think my Wi-Fi went out for a second.
Okay. You know what? It's no different than
So living out here in rural Idaho, we have fairly decent Wi-Fi. I mean, we get 25 to 30 gigs or megabytes or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But it comes in and out every few minutes. It'll cut out for a second or two. So.
Yeah, no, it's working fine. So, and honestly, when we had Facebook Live tests, it was the same thing. Like the connections would come and go, and we'd struggle sometimes. They'd drop, they'd come back. But that's the whole point of doing our test that we're doing today.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can appreciate it because they're out in rural areas too. So not too stressed.
Cool. Well, hey, as long as we've got each other on the call here today, Tyson, why don't we talk a little bit about Woody's Racing, the race season kicked off, and we had some. I think it was Thanksgiving weekend, right? Was the big race weekend up in Duluth. I know it's been scheduled for a while, and you guys were probably worried about not enough snow. And then this giant blizzard came in. So just talk us through it. So tell us about the racers that are on your race team, the preparation for the races, and then just go into the Duluth Nationals that were going on last weekend. What happened?
Yeah, so we're excited about our team this year. Caden and Taven Woodie are the two kids of Paul and Kim, and Caden's racing sport, and very excited about that. He went through some eye therapy to improve his vision, and he's seeing better and racing a lot better in practice. And then Taven is just killing it as a young female athlete in the pro women class, and she's also racing on a Yeti snow bike kit in the amateur snow bike class. So that's kind of fun and exciting. And then we have our Canadian friend, Theo Poirier. He comes down from Canada, and he's going to be racing the pro light class.
That's awesome. That's exciting. You got quite a team set up for this season. And I know when I talked to everybody at Heydays, they were stoked for the season. They were excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially at Heydays, you start getting that itch. You haven't been on a sled for a few months, and then you start seeing the new stuff coming out. You start meeting the new racers, and the schedule is released, and everybody gets fired up. So we went into Duluth, and I was able to stay home and have Thanksgiving with my family, but the team was up in Duluth getting ready, and Friday was awesome. That's when they do the Dominator race with the pros.
Yep.
And Caden was able to race. He won both his heat races in sport, and then man, the sport class is nuts. It's all the guys that they're great racers, and they're trying to make it up into the pro ranks, and so they send it. And so Caden's doing awesome. He ended up finishing fourth on Friday. And then Saturday, the weather started rolling in. And I'm not from Minnesota. You probably could speak to this more than me, but I guess that lake effect snow it's more snow in a short amount of time than I'd ever seen.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, Duluth, where the Nationals are, is right on Lake Superior, and most of the time the wind is blowing from the west to the east, and it's heading towards Wisconsin and Michigan. And they get all the lake effect snow, but every once in a while the wind, the way it blows and it picks up, or just because they're so close to the water there, it can just kind of pummel Duluth there. That whole coastal area along that northeastern side of Minnesota, right along Lake Superior, they can get just hammered hard.
And that's what happened on about Saturday early afternoon. Taven had gotten one round of pro women racing in, and she won her heat. And Caden had got 2 rounds of sport racing in, where he did pretty well. He got fourth, and then second round. But at that point, the snow was hitting, and I think Theo had the pro light practice, or was getting ready to have the pro light practice, and ISOC and the race crew and Spirit Mountain, they did everything they could to keep the races going, but Mother Nature just wasn't quite wanting to cooperate at that point.
Yep, no, I hear you. That makes complete sense. So talk a little bit about the fact that the race, I know you probably mentioned this here too, as I'm fiddling with all my logos and stuff and getting stuff centered around. I might have gotten distracted there, but the race got canceled because of too much snow. Did you mention that in that comment?
Yeah. Yeah, so, and it was on Saturday. Mostly the wind and visibility was down to nothing, and those of you that are out in Minnesota in that area may have saw that. I also saw the Wisconsin-Minnesota football game was getting hammered pretty good down in the Minneapolis area, so the weather all the way across wasn't good. And then Sunday morning, the wind had stopped, but there was something crazy, like 3 feet of new snow, and the transportation of the track just made it impossible to go ahead and finish Sunday.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing when you actually have to cancel a snowmobile race because of too much snow.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Somebody on Twitter said, "Did I hear that right?" They said a snowmobile race canceled for too much snow. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That is hilarious. Cool. Well, what else is going on with the team then? You guys have some more races coming up soon?
Yes, so they will reschedule. ISOC has said they're going to reschedule this race, so they'll pick up where they left off at some point throughout the season. But in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, it's December 13th and 14th. We'll be in just outside of Fargo, North Dakota,
Oh, nice.
at the Buffalo River Race Park.
Oh, I've
We're excited about that. I think a lot of people that couldn't make it to Duluth because of the weather will be able to head over there because it's 3 or 4 hours away, if I understand it correctly. And
Yeah, from
um,
Duluth to the Buffalo River. Yeah, it's basically just across the state, almost the same, north-south range there, but on the opposite of
yeah,
the state. And so I've driven by. I used to work in that area out there, and I used to drive
okay.
by Buffalo River Stadium too. It's actually right across the road is like a dirt oval track, and then just south of there is where they do the snowcross track. It's a right out in the open fields of the Great Plains.
Cool. And if I understand it right, I think we are at the race park this year. I'm not totally sure where the setup's going to be, but I think it will be at the grandstand there.
Oh, nice. That'll be cool because the dirt track where the grandstands are, that'd be a cool venue to be able to do the races. I know previous seasons it was just across the highway in kind of an open field area. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's from what I understand. It's a year there for a while. I think it's been 5 or 6 years or something since they've been out there. But I think the people are excited there, and I think those that missed out on Duluth are excited to go over and because you start watching racing. They got the Dominator race, and then it gets canceled, and you're just left itching for more, right?
oh yeah.
At least me as a snowcross fan, I'm like, gosh dang it, I just want to see some more racing.
That's awesome. And so, why don't we shift gears a little? Is there anything else about the race team you want to talk about? I think what I want to talk about next is the Share to Win program and some of the items that you're going to have up for grabs over the next, several months. But if there's anything else you want to cover about the racing or the race team first, let's cover that, and then we'll jump into the giveaway stuff.
No, I think I'm good. If anybody is interested or would like to follow us on social media, please do. You can see how we're doing throughout the season at Woodie's Racing and Instagram or Facebook, and go ahead and talk about the giveaways.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the cool part is, we've partnered with this giveaway, but because of your other partnerships that you have with other companies, we're going to have access to, like your hat says, Bubba Burgers. And so just
Hmm.
talk us through all the different things that you're talking about. I know some of your sponsors, because of, other sponsors I have, we've got to kind of narrow it down to some of the ones that there's not any conflict with. And that's part of the job we have to manage back and forth of
Right.
professionals in our industries. But let's go ahead and just talk through the things that you've settled on what we're going to work with around. It's like the burgers, the potatoes, the vitamins, some team, some shirts and hats, that kind of stuff. But just let's walk through some of those items and what they are.
Yeah, we have this year we've released a race line of apparel, which is cool, and we'll be selling those at all the races in a vending booth. So that'll be included in some of the giveaways we do with you. We'll do like t-shirt or hoodie packages, hoodies and hats or beanies. Might throw in a cool jacket. So that'll be definitely involved. And then because of some of our restrictions and we want to be respectful of your sponsors, there's some things that we talked about doing at the first of the season that we won't be, and that's totally fine. But we do have some great partners that are snowmobile related and not that we are able to do giveaways with, like Bubba Burger. We'll have some free coupons. If you haven't tried them yet, go out and give them a try because it's like going to a restaurant but eating at your house. And then Idahoan potatoes, which
Oh, looks like we lost the connection there for just a second again. So we'll give him just a second back to the call. And we've got a little bit of a glitchy internet service, and on his Skype call, he's getting cut out a little bit. So we'll see how that lands. All right, everybody. For anybody who's watching, just so you know, we're in the process of testing and getting Jon Ferrian Live back on track. And it looks like, Tyson, you're back again. Your internet, every, 15 minutes,
I'm
it looks like you're getting a little bit of a cycle through on the connection there. So
yeah, that seems about right. Hopefully it doesn't get any sooner than that, but that's more of I think my internet versus your setup. So
yeah, no worries. And I think most of our guests have had good connections. I know yours was a struggle when we did the show back in the day. So
yeah, and I know you do a lot of work with Brett Rasmussen. I live, not too far from him, so the internet in our areas it's not terrible, but it's not amazing either.
yeah, no, I hear you. Cool. So keep telling us a little bit about some of those gifts. I know you talked about the burgers a little bit, then we got cut out, but you got other items you want to talk about too.
Yep. So Idahoan foods. If you've been in the grocery store, you see like the prepackaged dehydrated potatoes. I probably shouldn't call them that. They're gonna be mad at me. But they are like you mix those babies up in some hot water,
Yeah.
and it's pretty quick, and it's way better than their old school dehydrated potatoes people are used to. So we'll give away some of those. ODI grips. They're a grip that you can put on your sled, which gives you better handling abilities. And we use them on the racetrack, and
Nice.
the team use them just in our fun sleds around up in the mountains or on the trails.
Yep.
So those are always good. And then I think there's a few others that we were, nitro lubricants, the oil, they make 2-cycle engine oil and some cleaning products for your sleds that we'd like to give away. Um, and then there's going to be a few more other random things as John and I discuss what isn't going to be in conflict with his other sponsors as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So super excited about it. And again, tests like this, I want to do a few more with some different folks that I know we've got some history with, so we can kind of stumble through this a little bit, and then we'll finally get everything back on track. I still am hopeful, fingers crossed, that I can get Dan Adams on this Sunday. I'm scheduled for Dan Adams to come on this Sunday. I've just got to get a hold of him probably today yet and see if he's going to be able to get set up on Skype. And if so, we're going to give it a test shot and make it happen. So.
Yeah, that's exciting. Glad you're back, John.
Yeah, no, this will be awesome. The only thing I got to figure out now is my background and where I'm going to do the show and all that, because the old garage, the big TV I had on the wall, that thing went kaput the same day that Facebook, killed the option to go live, and so it was like it was this omen from above, like everything broke loose all in one day. It was just crazy.
That
And
was your Brett show, wasn't it?
yeah, it was the show I was going to try to do with Brett Rasmussen that night, and we couldn't go live. And then on top of it, the TV freaked out at the same time, and I think the backlight in the TV burned out. Probably having a big
You,
TV in the garage is probably not the best place to have it. So
you might have to. Did you call him and ask him if he wasn't living right or something that
I
day?
don't know. Maybe it was the Russian spies that we all talk about in politics.
Yeah,
Maybe they were interfering with the Jon Ferrian live program. So
that's right.
nice. All right, Tyson, I think I've accomplished what we needed to. We've got a test that's, I'm going to call it successful at this point, minus a couple of hiccups with the internet connection. But as I test it with other folks, I'll be able to vet that out to see if there's any issues there. Anything else you want to get off your chest today? Anything you want to share with everybody?
I think good. Thanks for letting me be involved in your testing.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tyson. You have a great night, and don't forget to live large.
All right, sounds good.
All
See you,
right.
John.